Hello and welcome to a CS4 tutorial. Today we're gonna do something pretty basic. Here's the end result. It's just like a logo. Bunch of particles spread out. It comes together, makes a logo. Pretty cool looking, but also pretty basic. Doesn't take long to do. Pretty straightforward. So as you can see, we have particles and then sort of a blur on there. Just a little bit, and then it comes together all at the end. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty easy. So we'll start out with a new composition. Name it whatever you want. Just name it. I named it logo. I use 960 by 540. You can use anything you want. I just do that because it's 16:9 widescreen. You're gonna want to do 24 frames per second and make it around 200. It won't take that long. It's always nice to have a little bit left over just in case it does. So then we start out, we make a new text layer. Type anything you want. I made MP Studios because that's what this is, MP Studios, of course, if you didn't figure that out already. So you're going to want to make that, make it in the center, fit here. That's pretty good. Doesn't really have to be dead on, but it's nice. If it is in the center, it looks better. Then you're going to want to type in CCBAL, and then you'll get CC ball action. Put that to the text, and then you'll get something that looks like this, kind of weird, awkward. You can't really see what it says. You can kind of see the MP Studios in there. It's just basically what it does is it makes that text, and it puts balls in there for the text. So to make this look better, you're going to want to put grid spacing to 0. Then you can see that it makes the MP Studios or whatever you typed in there. So to start out, we'll go to the start, make sure it's at 0, key scatter, and you're going to want to turn this up a lot, maybe 520. And then you can see we have sort of that space look. Hit Control-Shift-H, and that'll get rid of that rectangle. And yeah, we're pretty much, this is good. So you're going to want to forward it and put maybe 100, maybe in between 100 and 125. Because 24 frames per second, 125 is going to go relatively fast. It doesn't look like it will, but it will in the end result. And that's pretty good animation right there. Come back, and then it'll eventually go and form your text. So we're about halfway done, but there's still some more key things that we need to put in there to make this look a little bit better, because it's just like stars, pixels coming in pretty fast to form MP Studios. You're going to want to put a blur on there. So type in fast blur, and then add that to the text. Put the blurriness up to 5 and key that. Then go to the end, about 25 from the end, maybe 100. Put that down to 0, and then what that creates is basically just a nice looking blur for it. My computer isn't that great, so won't really render it that well. So you can see basically the idea, and it'll come together nice and bright. So there's your fast blur, and then all you have to do after that is add the text on the top and the bottom. So create a new text layer, put A, or whatever you want. You're going to want to scale that down pretty much, maybe 42. And then just so it looks good right there. Then on the bottom, I'm going to write production. And then put that to the right end. And then see, if you scroll back to 0, you're going to see it's still there. So what we want to do is change the opacity and key that. So hit click A and then hit Shift, hit production. We're going to want to control the opacity so it's T, it's not O, it's T on the keyboard. Key the opacity, it'll key it for both. Set it to 0. Then you're going to want to move to right about there, and then set it to 100. I guess you have to do it for both. Alright, there's alright. We'll mess with it a little bit later. But see, the problem here now is that it'll fade in. We don't want that. So we're going to change these two, move these over, about right there. So now you can see there's no letters, and then it'll start about right there, right when the pixels, or the balls, whatever you want to call them, sort of leave that area. So that'll be a good effect. Maybe move it a little bit over. Like that. And that'll give you a more clean animation look, because it's like the pixels reveal the A in production. Alright, so that pretty much is how you do that. It's, like I said, it's very simple. And yeah, not that hard to do. Also, there is another possibility what you can do for this. If this is sort of like a sci-fi type of movie or something like that, what you can do is you can go to hit shift and select all layers, then go to time and time reverse. And what that'll do is that'll make it so that it starts out with the logo, and then it'll go to the pixels, which reveal it's sort of a space type thing. So what would be a really neat effect, I think, if you started out like that, and then you went to that, and then you rotated the camera down, and then you could basically like go from sky and then to point of view, which some movies actually do. So it's a pretty neat effect, I think, if you could do that. And basically how you would do that is you go to layer, new, camera, 24, okay. Then you would hit P for position, keyframe that right at about where you want to start, and then go to towards the end, do orbit camera tool. Then you can move down in space, or in your 3D space, to sort of simulate that you're going down into the earth. So that's a pretty neat effect for anyone that wanted to do that. I really don't have anything that would work with that, so I just did the normal way of doing it. So set that back, just go to select all of them, then go to time, hit time reverse layer again, and there you have it. It's a nifty little effect, I think. Pretty professional looking, just for a start of a video. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something, and I hope you will use this later. And just an end note, this tutorial was inspired by Andrew Kramer. He's very good at After Effects. If you wanna start out learning, I'd really recommend using his tutorials. He will really help you. He helped me, because when I first got After Effects, I didn't know what I was doing at all. All this, just what is all this? And he made sense of all that. He'll teach you how to do stuff, and you'll be doing this. This is pretty basic. This is my first tutorial. Basically my first thing that I made on my own. But it's not really on my own, it's just kind of on my own. So yeah, you'll be making things like this. This is very simple, I'm sure. It takes about 5 minutes, and it looks pretty cool. So don't forget to rate, comment, if I did something wrong or if I could improve on something. Don't forget to do that. Or, just leave your feedback. So, for MP Studios, hope you enjoyed this tutorial.